Where does the Bible command Gentiles to keep the Sabbath? Answer: the Sabbath was established before Israel and was intended for all nations. 1. Abraham kept God's commandments before the Jewish nation existed. Genesis 26:5, KJV. Because that Abraham obeyed my voice and kept my charge, my commandments, my statutes, and my laws. Abraham was not a Jew. He lived before the nation of Israel existed. Yet he kept God's commandments, which included the Sabbath, showing that the Sabbath was not exclusive to Israel, but a universal law. 2. The Sabbath was established at creation, not just for Israel. Genesis 2:2-3, KJV. And on the seventh day, God ended his work which he had made, and he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had made. And God blessed the seventh day and sanctified it, because that in it he had rested from all his work which God created and made. God established the Sabbath at creation long before the existence of Jews or Gentiles. It was sanctified for all humanity. 3. The Sabbath commandment was given before Sinai, Exodus 16:23-30, KJV. In the wilderness, before the 10 Commandments were given on Mount Sinai, God instructed the people to keep the Sabbath. This shows that the Sabbath was not exclusive to the Jews, but was a pre-existing law. 4. The Sabbath is for all nations, not just Israel. Isaiah 56:6-7, KJV. Also the sons of the stranger, that join themselves to the Lord to serve him and to love the name of the Lord, to be his servants, every one that keepeth the Sabbath from polluting it, and taketh hold of my covenant. Even them will I bring to my holy mountain, and make them joyful in my house of prayer. Their burnt offerings and their sacrifices shall be accepted upon mine altar. For mine house shall be called an house of prayer for all people. The Sabbath was never meant to be exclusive to Israel. God specifically includes Gentiles, sons of the stranger, as those who should keep it. 5. The Sabbath will be kept in the new earth. Isaiah 66:22-23, KJV. For as the new heavens and the new earth which I will make shall remain before me, saith the Lord, so shall your seed and your name remain. And it shall come to pass that from one new moon to another, and from one Sabbath to another, shall all flesh come to worship before me, saith the Lord. If the Sabbath will be observed in the new earth by all flesh, it was never abolished and applies to all people, not just Jews. 6. Jesus declared the Sabbath was made for all mankind. Mark 2:27, KJV. And he said unto them, the Sabbath was made for man, and not man for the Sabbath. Jesus did not say the Sabbath was made for Jews, but for man, all of humanity. 7. The early church and Gentiles kept the Sabbath. Acts 13:42-44, KJV. The Gentiles asked Paul to preach to them the next Sabbath, and the entire city gathered to hear the word. This shows the Sabbath was still being observed by Gentiles in the New Testament. Acts 16:13, KJV. Paul went to a place of prayer on the Sabbath, indicating its continued observance among believers, including Gentiles. Conclusion: the Bible shows that the Sabbath was established at creation, kept by Abraham before Israel existed, commanded before Sinai, and intended for all nations. Isaiah prophesied that Gentiles would keep it. Jesus affirmed its purpose for all humanity, and the New Testament confirms that Gentile believers observed it. The Sabbath is not just for Jews. It is a divine institution for all who follow God.